diversity being displayed on social media and on the airwaves, well, join me, Hassan Professor Robinson, every Monday on Dominica's broadcasting station between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on a brand new program called Streams of Consciousness, where we seek to raise the level of consciousness one conversation at a time. So, tell a friend to tell a friend that consciousness is back on the airwaves. And remember, stay positive, stay conscious, stay tuned. Good evening, good evening, good evening. The time is now 8:03 p.m. and usually around this time on a Monday, we introduce to you a program called Streams of Consciousness. My name is Hassan Robinson, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you tonight. And tonight, like every other night, we tend to have great, interesting conversations that help elevate the level of consciousness as well. But tonight is somewhat of a bit of an extra special night, I must say, as we have some lovely Dominic queens of all walks of life here with us tonight. As per introductory statements, we're just going to give you a breakdown of what to expect for tonight's program. Of course, I'd like to introduce the program with a prayer. Merciful Father Yahweh, thank you for another wonderful evening, another wonderful night, another wonderful program. Allow your words, your consciousness, your blessings, your energies to be felt, heard, and seen to all those who are in need and deserving of it as we have another wonderful program. In a wonderful name I pray, hallelujah. Last week we had our guest, Abia Israel, who's a musical artist, a teacher, consciousness advocate, amongst many other things. We spoke on operating from and appreciating one's higher self for one's daily life, despite the challenges and temptations of life. Tonight we're going to have a lovely lineup here. With us, we have Miss Rosalind Sever McLean, who is a best-selling author, entrepreneur, consciousness advocate, amongst many other things, as well as Virginia's resident Isadorra Hoffa, who is an essential oil specialist and consultant with doTERRA. We have from Dominica, Miss Lucille Dupius, who is a woman of the soil and a wellness advocate with doTERRA. And we have Carner Letang, John Baptist from Dominica as well, who's also a wellness advocate with doTERRA. We're going to allow these queens to introduce themselves on tonight's special episode. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. I'm kind of wondering how should I start, how we're going to do this. So I'm just going to do it based on how you guys were introduced. So we'll start off with Miss McLean herself, and let us know who you are, what you bring to the table, and we'll just go across the board.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hassan, for having me here this evening. As I speak, my name is Rosalind Sever McLean,
Right.
author of Oceans of Thoughts. And yes, I am here to speak about my work in poetry as I write inspirational poetry about my life experiences.
Awesome. All right. And across the table, we can go from, I'll start with Lucille, and we'll just follow alongside with Miss Isadorra Hoffa, and then we'll go to Carner.
Okay, good evening. My name is Lucille Dupius. I reside in Portsmouth, and I'm a wellness advocate for doTERRA. And being a woman of the soil, it is my pleasure this evening to say that I am proud to be able to use the natural herbs and the natural food and fruits and so many of nature that we have in Dominica that many of us take for granted. So tonight we are going to talk about some of that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And Miss Isadorra Hoffa.
Hi everyone. So yes, my name is Isadorra Hoffa. I reside in the state of Virginia. I am a mother too, and I'm a wellness advocate for doTERRA and essential oil specialist. And I'll be talking about these oils and how pure and how potent and safe they are.
Okay. Thank you for being here with us tonight as well.
Yes, my name is Carner Baptiste. Good night to everyone, our listening audience, and thank to Hassan for being able to hosting us here tonight. I'm a Dominican, very patriotic, and I'm just very pleased to be here to represent the nature island of the Caribbean. And our consciousness, we should elevate that level to the naturality that is here, and that we can use the natural herbs and the essential oils to help our ailing needs.
All right. So this is a very interesting, discussion we expect to have here tonight. I'm not going to take too much time. So I'm just going to go and ask you, yourself, Miss Miss Rosalind, sorry, and how you got into the conscious lifestyle, the poetry, what inspired it, and not just one book, but 3 books as well. And I guess you could even throw your opinions into the holistic natural oils as well as what we were speaking about, and how that maybe even helped you along your journey as well.
Yes, thank you so much. I will start by saying I would speak on the consciousness as it aligns. Okay. Oceans of Thoughts was born out of I will put it like it's creativity. Okay. Creativity and oneness. Okay. Although you find there can be quite a bit of distractions, distractions trying to take away the alignment, but the frequencies always seem to play out. Oceans of Thoughts is about my life experiences. Oceans of Thoughts is actually my autobiography, but not written as a novel or 3 novels. It's written through poetry. That's how the inspiration aligns. That's how the inspiration came through. It's very challenging, especially when you meet people who don't really understand this type of frequency. It's not on the natural realm. It cannot be of me. It comes from a different place. And you find there are many attackers in many sorts of ways, through family and friends, through just about anyone will attack that creativity and that special way it transcends. Right. Oceans of Thoughts is just not a regular poetry book. You can read it through, yes, but there's a lot more depth in Oceans of Thoughts. And with that said, it's a book series of literature, social studies, because my work addresses social issues. Social issues of the bullying, the silent bully, the bullying in families, the bullying in jobs, the bullying with children. It addresses the bullying that's not identified, because certain types of bullying is silent, and that silent bully is never caught. Because that silent bully is never, it always, gets caught free.
Right.
Scot free, yes, only for a while until it catches up.
All right.
So that's one aspect. I address social issues that affect lives, because in my work it will transcend through you. So you will feel the quality of what's been spoken about in Oceans of Thought. Oceans of Thought speaks to you. It speaks to your inner self.
Right.
Oceans of Thoughts will let you see yourself within. Just about everyone, even me too, I guess. I'm part of everyone. We got it.
Right.
Most people think they got it, they have it. Or, no, that's not how it works.
Right. Okay.
That's not how it works.
All right. So that's beautiful. So right now, Oceans of Thought meets Streams of Consciousness. This is a beautiful symmetry and poetry. We're gonna go with our next guest as well. Let us know how you got into, the essential oil industry or lifestyle, and it's not just an industry but also a lifestyle and that level of consciousness, because we're talking about healing, and just the word essential means vital or a necessary component of one's life. So then how did this oil become essential to you, you ladies, and how does that tie into your awareness or consciousness of life as well? Any one of you can choose to.
I think I will start with that one, and then because everybody it's unique in its own. I have my own unique experience with essential oils, and for me it started 9 years ago when my son was diagnosed with autism at a very young age. And I wanted to look for a natural solution for him. So I started my pursuit for purity, my pursuit to find out what can I do for my child that can help him to grow without interrupting his personality or just stopping being who he is.
Right.
I know that autism, I was a young mother, so I actually help young mothers to find second solutions, natural solutions to situations like autism, DHD, ADHD, ADD, ODD, and all of those mental disabilities. So for me, back then, I didn't know much of the autism spectrum disorder. So I started to look for solutions. And I got to tell you that that's what it took me to come into that consciousness, to really make those resources happen and look for answers. And when they introduced me to essential oils, I saw a drastic change on my child. To this point, now he's 16 years old. And he's a normal teenager, is still with autism, so he still gives me a hard time. But nonetheless, he never stopped being himself, and he gets A's and B's at school. So a sort of way, I proved to myself that there are other solutions out there.
Yeah,
That's my story.
Yes, beautiful, and congratulations on that. And you being an excellent queen yourself. Not too many people can take the challenge on their own, basically taking the bull by the horns and creating something magnificent out of it. So yes, continuing down the line, Miss Queen Carner herself.
Yes, everyone has a story, and as I listened to Isadorra Hoffa's story, my story began when, as a healthcare provider, I saw something that transcend beyond what I was actually doing, because deep down within, I saw a need for a source of satisfaction by what the earth provides. And I remember at one time I was praying and hoping for a better way out to help mankind, to be that individual that really cares, and whatever method that was being used that would actually bring healing to those individuals. So I started praying and fasting and asking for that opportunity. And that was granted to me in February this year when my cousin, Berdinia Williams, invited me to a class. And the one who was facilitating the class was Isadorra Hoffa.
Wow.
And when she told her story, I was fascinated. That was just enough for me. That was what I was looking for. That was an answer to prayer. And right away I said, I want to heal the world one job at a time. And then I remember this song by Michael Jackson, Heal the World, Make It a Better Place. And then her logo was, Heal the world one drop at a time. And then I started singing that song, Heal the world one drop of oil at a time. And I just became a part of the company doTERRA, and sharing these oils with individuals, and the immediate changes I saw in their lives. It just daily gives me inspiration, because reading from Psalm 104, it says, His herbs, He has provided herbs for the service of man, oil to make men's face to shine, bread that strengthens man's heart. And actually the word doTERRA actually is a Latin term that means gift of earth. And it brings me back all the way to Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 3. And the responsibility that was given to mankind to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish the earth, and to make it better, not to destroy it. And then when it brings me back to Revelation, some part in 11 that says, where, the nations were angry, and your time came for the nations to be judged, and to give your reward to the servants, to your servants and the prophet and those who have been martyred, and to destroy those that are destroying the earth. I do not want to be a part of destroying this earth. I want to be a part of rebuilding the earth, of replenishing the earth, and just using nature. Dominica is the nature island of the Caribbean, and you come here, you breathe the air, you bathe in the water, you drink the water, you pick up, you go on the street, you see lemongrass, you see vetiver, you see patchouli, all about you. You can just take these. Many of the trees that are all around us were not even planted. You get a bread. It's fascinating. Words cannot express.
And speaking about expressions of words, we'll go back to Miss, Rosalind, who's an author, a poet herself. And from what you heard from these three lovely queens, as you can see, they each have their own ambitions in terms of healing for whatever purpose. But ultimately, the ultimate aim is to heal. I too am trying to, heal through my consciousness program as well. This platform here is one of that. And I'm trying my best here to see how we can make this beautiful symmetry between poetry and essential oils, between the wisdom of our Dominican women and to just women all over the world, because it doesn't matter where you're from, Dominica or Virginia. I guess all of you are mothers or have that motherly spirit and that dedication for care and that dedication for healing. One is saying one drop at a time, one drop of oil. Now we have an ocean of thought and poetry talking about your life, and we have a stream of consciousness going on here tonight. So I think it's a very beautiful conversation that we're having. So let's bring it back now into poetry. And as you heard, healing is very essential. And the oils of that, you can say that heal back to the Bible again, having the oils pour on your head. Do you sometimes feel like there's a necessary need for that healing, so that you can express for your poetry, that natural healing that we're talking about? Because earlier you spoke about you went to the waterfalls or something like that earlier today.
Most definitely. It all aligns. Everything aligns together, right? Oceans of Thoughts, my poetry in Oceans of Thoughts, is self-healing. It takes you inside. You need to heal. A person needs to heal inside, the inner wounds, the emotions, before they can heal anything else.
Right.
Before you can reach out to anyone else, you need to be able to look within and heal that inner child, inner self within. It's difficult and it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Using essential oils, getting into meditation, getting to levitation, is all part of the process of self-healing and acknowledgement. Talking about acknowledgement, I would like to acknowledge my daughter, Multi McLean, who helped me tremendously with Oceans of Thoughts through the computer, doing the computer part of the work, because without her input, it would have been very difficult because she is a computer expertise. And I also would like to acknowledge Jennifer Fadell Johnson, all the way in Texas, who was like my right hand, who was like my proof eye, because she was the one who, if I did something, I would just call her to proofread over the phone. We did research together, and we got this series going. I also have Janice Carbon in Sacramento, who also was one who gave her time. Time is so very important in all ways, through healing.
Right.
It takes time, It's not a rushed, it's not a rushed process.
Mm-hmm.
Time takes time, as it's called time. The essential oils necessary as well as a healing process. The scent, the whole aroma of those oils, of those scents, they are also very inspirational. And with that inspirational process, comes the healing, which is very necessary with all humans. No one is exempt from this. A lot of people feel they have it all together and all that. Well, yeah, all that, yes. But where is the healing power? Under that skin, there's so much trauma with everyone. And everyone feels that they have it, they got it. But there's no healing there. So with that, all this helped to put oceans of thoughts out.
All right. So let's give you a quick pause here, because you said two powerful things. You thankful for your daughter and also your right hand strength. I want to know, with the essential oils, Queens, where did you get your strength from in terms of your assistance? Was it through family? Like you said, Miss Isadorra was stating that she had no background in that type of work. How did you find that strength from, in terms of who assisted you most? Was it a collective? Was it something that you say, I'm going to do this, and then somehow magically people came together? How did the help come together so that you could help others as well?
Are you asking me, or are you asking all of us?
I'm asking all of you, but we can begin with you.
Okay, so it links to what Miss Rosali is saying here, because we are all in need of support. The essential oils of doTERRA not only help out with your emotions, which is the source of any alignment. I understand that when what you're saying, what helped me was the support that I got from doTERRA itself. doTERRA is a company that actually makes the essential oils, and with that, many resources are available for wellness advocates just like myself. So I learned a lot from those resources, but then I wanted more. So where did I go to get that more? Here I am in Dominica, in the nature island. You meet people from everywhere, and you learn things from everybody. And for me, I meet this beautiful woman in the internet, like Carner just mentioned, because they appear in one of my classes. And when I see the essence of purity, integrity, and just 100%, like the herbs and plants, because I've seen it firsthand, the power. That's where I get my help from. And I am also getting certified in a couple of other things that are medical stuff that I'm not going to bore you about. But that's the essence of it. The relationships of people and the experiences of everybody.
Well, thank you, man. It was a pleasure to be here, part of the experience and creating that new conscious relationship as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can come across the board. We have a very quiet person in the corner. We're gonna put her on, Miss Lucille. Talk to us.
Okay.
Yes.
I grew up in Penville as a child, where I saw my mom and my dad. Well, right now my dad is 88 years. So he did farming for 70-something years, where he sold his produce to Les Saintes and Marie-Galante and the French countries.
Okay.
Even in my mother's womb, I was so passionate about, because even when my mom would be bending down and doing the weeding and planting the tomatoes and all the big fruits and vegetables and everything that we would produce to supply to the families. Growing up as a child, it was already as a very young age. And when I look around my island, Dominica, you can go anywhere. I've traveled many places, and let me tell you this. You can go anywhere around the world, but there's none compared to our nature island, Dominica.
Facts.
I feel so passionate that I can be here tonight to say proudly that we have a lot in Dominica that we need to be thankful for.
Indeed.
The herbs. You look at the herbs and the essence in the herbs. You look at things like the bay leaf that many of us, we don't even know that the bay leaf has properties to heal cancer.
Yep.
The bay leaf has properties, so many different properties in bay leaf that, let me tell you, I did research, and when I found out, I was shocked to see the kind of things that bay leaf can do.
Yeah.
And not only bay leaf, we have many herbs in Dominica, like camphor, the goditin. We have balm. We may hear so much about the balm, but we do not even realize we have it right there. And there are many of the herbs that I can just, everywhere I go in the island, look across the road and you will see these things, they are just on the ground.
Wow.
And then people don't take advantage of it, but it's like I grew up that you would have a stomach ache, and my dad would say, look, he give you a cup of tea, or my mom, and she would say, look, that for the headache, and you have a little rash on your skin, and they would take this oil, what you call it? The castor oil and rub on your body, and the coconut oil, not only for drinking or putting in your food, but the coconut oil you use to make so many medications. And having a passion for the soil, growing as a farmer, and, being a farmer, that I learned a lot about the soil and the herbs and the different things that we can do with them. And even when I went to the class on doTERRA about 3 months ago, that was in July, I realized by listening to Isadorra, which is our consultant, when she was giving those classes, I was just attending those classes every week, one after the other. And it gave me that great zeal, that knowing that we have a lot in common. And we were even, John Baptiste and myself, we were saying, Isadorra, you need to come to Dominica. You need to come. And we were like, you will get the breadfruit. We dry the breadfruit. And with solar, we dry the breadfruit. We dry the herbs. We dry any and every food that you can think of in Dominica. We take the ripe banana and we dry it. And we do so many different products. And this is what I'm so passionate about. You don't necessarily have to go to the shop and buy everything you see in the shop. But you can just take the natural things that we have, and we can turn the breadfruit into flour.
Yes.
You can turn the banana and the mango. I call it, we in what month right now? We in November. But I have mango that you dry it and you wrap it and it's there like a candy. And you can just, if somebody don't tell you it's mango, you will not know. So it's like any fruit, any food, we dry solar and we air dry them as well. We air dry the herbs because sometimes when you get too much of the heat of the sun, it can destroy the nutritional properties. So one of the things that we do also is the air dry, where you maintain all the properties. And we are encouraging her as a wellness advocate. One of the things we are working on is for doTERRA to use one or a few of our products in Dominica, but at least there is one main product that we can put on the market and partner with doTERRA, that we can get essential oils, the pure 100% essential oils from our herbs or one of our foods like parsley, and take the essence from parsley and put Dominica on the globe, put Dominica on the map. Because with doTERRA, I am one of the first advocates for doTERRA in Dominica, Carner and myself. And by being one of the first advocates, which 2 weeks ago, I became an advocate and I opened my account with doTERRA. And that is one of my passions, that the herbs and the natural stuff that we have in Dominica, when we go to convention, we are going to just promote our nature island, Dominica.
All right. Now that's a lot to assimilate. So quiet, but so powerful and impactful. I could hear the passion in your voice and your conviction for all of you women here. The time is already 8:30 p.m. Usually around this time, I take a quick musical break. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the conscious aspect of things. I'm going to ask you guys some questions so I relate to your book and deeper consciousness, and maybe some social issues as well. We can probably tackle that. But I also do a meditation session. It's up to you whether or not you choose to meditate with me or not. So I'm just going to take a quick musical break here. So for those of you who are now tuning in or now viewing on Facebook, you could always view this program. We're live on Facebook, Dominica's DBS Facebook program. Feel free to like and share and put it on your Facebook page, or just share it for a friend as well. But just give you a quick look, a recap. We're speaking with Miss Isadorra Hoffa, as well as Lucille Dupius, Miss Carner Letang John Baptist, and as well as Miss Rosalind Sever McLean. McLean is a poet, a Dominican queen. She's an author, she's a mother, she's a consciousness advocate. Just name it, she is that, one of many hats. And so too are the other women who I've named, who are essential oil advocates, as well as aroma touch technicians. And they are all queens, they are all women taking the charge in that role. As you know, Dominica just celebrated its independence over the weekend. New inauguration of a woman being the first female president of Dominica. So I'd like to get you guys' views on that if you want to take it down that route. But like I stated, I'm just going to put some music to play real quick, and I will be right back with you guys here on the Streams of Consciousness. So as you know, every Monday here in Dominica's broadcasting station, it's strictly local music. And of course, if you're now tuning in, it's Streams of Consciousness. And again, we have Miss Isadorra, Lucille, Carner, as well as Rosalind. All Dominic queens, all unique in their own ways. All queens. And we were speaking on essential oils, as well as poetry, history, culture, upbringing, the importance of doing for oneself, and just appreciating the many things that Dominica have to offer, such as our natural herbs, our intelligence, our wisdom, our poetry, our arts, our culture, all of these things. We're going to take the second segment a bit deeper now. We're going to try and now transcend it into the youth. How can we then, as the topic of tonight's program, how are we going to operate and take this ancestral consciousness, this cultural consciousness, and transcend it into future generations? How do we then take what we know now and what we know from the past and then move it forward? It's interesting enough, through just a quick break that we took here, I found out that Miss Rosalind had her own modeling thing that she used to do for the youth, as well as dancing of ballet and all of these things. We found out that we have women here who learn the arts of herbal healings and from their parents, and now they're moving it forward. We understand the biblical context. We heard from a self-taught healer, essential oil person who took advantage of the resources that were there and then just ran with it. So we're now going to ask these women, how do they then take with the lessons that they've learned and their skills, and how do they move it so that the youth themselves moving forward can appreciate it and perpetuate it into the future as well. So, ladies, whoever wants to take the reign, we'll start off with Miss Rosalind. Then we're going to just allow her to talk about how you're going to use what you know in the past and then move it forward to this modern generation. So.
Okay, yes, this is so interesting. Because I would definitely like to speak about my modeling career and the cultural dance career. I opened a modeling school in Dominica in the early 1990s, and I had at least 35 to 40 students. I had young ones as well as adults, men. And it was like a finishing school, which helped, I taught the different skills of that type of lifestyle. It's not just walking on stage. My classes took you through public speaking. One of my students who I had as a model, she was 18 at the time, was Dr. Simone Matthew, who has her own show. She was one of my students. When she came to me, she had a problem speaking. She was like, she was scared to speak, she was very young. Right. And she came to my modeling school and went through the program with the other girls. And now, I opened her up at that particular time to be able to speak out.
Right.
So in that way, my experience as a model in that genre of stage was something that I used to help the youth and Dominicans, because I did that abroad. I brought it to Dominica, and to help them through life. And this seemed to have changed a lot of them, because they meet me today and will tell me and tell their friends that I changed their life.
So are you still offering some of these services to them, or is your book some of?
These services actually are in my books. Right now, I've transcended all these different things I've been doing through Oceans of Thoughts. I still dance ballet.
Okay.
I am a cultural dance artist. I've been dancing ballet in New York since 1979, religiously every year, throughout the year. I had my own dance group, ballet dance group. Wow. Called Rosa Dancing Ballet. I had some young ones. I had children. I had my daughter. She was 3 at the time. Okay. I had young children. I had some children from Pont Michel. I had from Portsmouth. I had a little Haitian child from Haiti. Okay. My daughter had a little boy, and I had some adults as well. And we performed my group started in 2005 in Marquette. I was dancing ballet since 1979 in New York. Wow. I performed basically just about for the Dominica Association group in New York. Okay. I also performed for the Portsmouth Cultural Group, the New Jersey group, just about all the different groups in New York.
So do you see the art of dancing, ballet, and the modern of the cultural wear, do you see that as something that is growing, or do you see that it is an importance for us to remember and try to perpetuate that forward?
It is so very important to remember the culture. Ballet is a spiritual dance. Ballet is not just a dance. Dancing ballet is a spiritual aspect to ballet. When you dance the drums, and the drums speak to you, You speak to the drums speak to you, and you dance to those drums. That's transcending the whole dance on a spiritual level, you know. And I don't know if the ballet today, what they do in Dominica today, if they understand that part of the growth of ballet, but I know from my experience, ballet takes you on a different level. When I dance ballet, I start dancing ballet. By the time I'm done, I'm on a whole different plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
So transitioning to a different plane now. We're going to go into the planes of these young women who are also with us on the essential oils and how they learn that lesson, that information, and how do they now forward it to perpetuate it to the modern generation of the younger youth? How do you use what you know now and make it in a way where the youth will be interested in participating or even taking on that essential oil mentality? It doesn't have to be oils like you join the oil business, but the mentality that's behind what you guys are doing, what the drive or the purpose. How do you then transition that into something that the youth would understand? Anyone of you can choose to.
Okay, I'll start. So essential oils that we, promote are pure tested. And because they're 100% pure, everybody can use them. I'm talking about a newborn baby to the elderly. I personally think that essential oils emotionally are essential for everybody. I started with my son when he was 7 years old. And we don't even have an idea what is the stress level that these kids go through. Period. We had a different era. Like when I went to high school, originally, I'm from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. So imagine, my kids are in the U.S. Completely different scenario. The bullying, the jokes, even the slang that they use, I'm so out of it. But one thing for sure is that we all make fun of people and at a certain point of our youth. And we all sometimes don't really understand that because there are different types of vibes going on. I think that's what they call it today. I don't know.
Vibes, yeah.
But for me, essential oils have anchored my children. I have 2 teenagers, one of them with autism. And like I told you earlier, essential oils have made a huge, huge difference to the point that he goes to high school right now. He stands for the word of God and he tells kids, he's not afraid of anything. He has no filter, which worries me. But essential oils centers him, aligns him, and it helps him to go through those emotions of acceptance and anything else. Emotions are very powerful, so let's not underestimate emotions.
Okay, so basically, and letting them know that, regardless of who you are, how young you are, there's always the need to be grounded and the importance of connecting and respecting where you are in terms of your life status. And like you said, it grounded your son. But to ground someone, you then have to, be grounded yourself because you're dealing with energy and vibes. So then how do you maintain your level of grounding? Do you massage your own self, or do you have somebody else massage?
We do have something. Well, first of all, God is first, right? So if we don't have God in our lives, Yahweh in our lives, Jesus in our lives, your creator, we all have that upper being. For me, it's Yahweh in the Joshua or Messiah. But what I'm trying to say is that that's number one. And then right after that, what sources do I have? I center myself spiritually, like with frankincense and myrrh. I center myself with, we do have a grounding blend called Balance. Okay. And that actual, I'm sorry, I get too emotional, but that actual essence of essential oils is a blend of different herbs that ground you to the earth, because sometimes we lose our ground. Is one of the essences that help my son starting to talk, because they hold a lot of emotion in. So I am here to share these oils with you because honestly, they are changing people's lives.
All right. And Carner, how did you, use your information, or how are you using your information and your wisdom, and what are some of the things you feel like you can do to transcend that to the younger generation, to they too can help others as well?
Yes, experiencing the oils for myself, seeing how powerful they work every day. I just recognize how perfect a creator we have by using those natural oils. I am flabbergasted, if that's the right word to use.
Yeah, man.
And I can just share it with the young people, especially. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. And to see my generation, my offspring, and my children's offsprings,
Yeah.
to even use those oils on them and see the impact that it has on them, it inspires me to share it with the young people, especially when they are under emotional stress. Let me just give you one example. Yesterday, we went up to Marigot and we were in an area where an 18-year-old was shot to death in New York. His body was sent down and there was a funeral for him. So we decided to just go there and, see some of the family members and just introduce that little lavender, which helps with emotion. And I remember meeting the survivor or young cousin. He was just standing there and you could see he was emotionally. We just offered him just a little sample of that lavender, and he inhaled it. And we just gave him a few encouraging words. And within less than 5 minutes, he said, "I feel so much better."
Yeah, man.
So when she explains what she did to her son, that's just one experience, because we just have an hour, and the amount of a huge impact.
Yes.
Because no matter how as she spoke about balance, no matter what trauma, as Rosalind was saying, the impact that she had on the young people and dancing, and that level of consciousness, it just brings out the oils, the essential oils. They just really.
Yeah,
We
man.
really had a creator, man. He's just unsearchable. I can't explain it.
Yeah, facts. The time is already 8:48 p.m. And like I stated, I usually do like a quick 30-second meditation. It's often less, but it feels like 30 seconds or more, where I just take a deep breath for a few breaths, where I give thanks to the Creator. So I would love if you ladies would join me. What I usually do, I say 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in, 3, 2, 1, a breath out, 1, 2, 3, a breath in, 3, 2, 1, a breath out, and then I just observe the breath. And then if you guys would want to join me on that.
Can I add my lavender to this?
Sure. Okay. All right. We're getting the essential oils ready.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you can choose to have your eyes open or closed. I put the music in the background just so that your mind can stay in tune. So 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. In. 3, 2, 1. Out. And just observe the breath. And just like that. Yes. So thank you so much. Just to appreciate the breath of life. 2 seconds. Get that spiritual grounding in. That lavender, consciousness. Yeah, man. So the first question I ask after this meditation session is, if there was one area in society that you felt that there was more consciousness would be vital or necessary, what would that be? And we can just go across the board, and each of you could just give your own views on what you feel. So we'll start with you, Rosalind.
A moment here, but especially in this society, in Dominica, I would like to have Dominicans or whoever is in charge more conscious of the animals that are strayed in Dominica. I think it's so important to take care of these stray the dogs that are strayed on the streets. And I haven't seen cats, but I see dogs. And I just feel that there should be a lot more consciousness, grounded consciousness on the way they treat animals. Okay. Well, I guess they treat one another too, but animals, like whatever neglect needs not to be neglected.
Mm.
And when you talk about consciousness, it's not only for humans. That's only a part, a tiny bit of it.
Right.
Consciousness is infinite, is limitless, is timeless. And animals, dogs, well, the dogs around here, are part of that timeless. If you only think of the humans, you're not doing a service to the consciousness. And everyone, well, from what I see, everyone thinks that they have it together. But no, you don't, because your consciousness is not, it's not on this level. It's not on the level. I don't know what level it's on. You know, the disrespect for humans, the disrespect for animals, the disrespect for self, the disrespect for elders, for family. You know, if you have that disrespect continuous, what sort of consciousness do you have? And then you transcend it to the dogs. You know, a dog is like a 2-year-old. A dog has the mind of a 2-year-old. So that's how you treat your 2-year-old. So if you don't have that consciousness to treat the dogs right, how do you treat your people?
Oh, that's beautiful. And it reminds me of, though there's a group actually in Dominica that deals focuses on the stray animals and healing them and helping them. And you'll be surprised, it's a lot of youth. A lot of the young people are the ones who are actually taking care of these animals compared to the elder generation. So that's a very valid point.
Yes.
We're going to go along the line here. We're going to start with the very quiet person in the corner, and then we'll go along. So one area of society you feel like if there was more consciousness, things would be a little different.
Okay, let me start with this. Nutrition. What we eat, what we put in, that's what that develops our growth.
Right.
And so when you look at the different things that we have and we eat healthy, we will remain healthy. All across the island, the people that we come in contact with, you see them suffering, and I'm talking about different age groups,
Right.
The young, the elderlies, and even the middle age. You look at hypertension, diabetes, cancer, heart problems, all the vascular diseases. The people are telling you that is what they are suffering with. And when you look at the benefits that are there in the soil, in the natural foods, in the natural lifestyle, some people don't take advantage of it. By the time you find out you have hypertension because of the sugar, because of the starch. But if we just eat healthy, then we will be healthy. Not only with the food in the soil, but the oils that we share with the people.
Right.
When we go to them and you give them a visit afterward, and sometime within the same moment or within 5 minutes, within 15 minutes, you say, how are you feeling? And they tell you, oh, I had this swollen foot, or oh, I had this heart problem. And the oil that you gave me, the Breathe you gave me, or the peppermint oil you gave me. Sometimes we give people a little sample.
Yeah.
And if we just eat right, we will remain healthy. And my admonition, it's something that I look at us. When I say us, our society here, and not only Dominica, I look at our society, especially in the region, the Caribbean, and you see that, people are suffering with those illnesses. And if we take advantage of what we have, we will be better. We will be more healthy. And we would be able, within ourselves, what we take in, would be able to give out the best in us. Because sometimes you are ill, you cannot give the best of yourself because you are ill. You're sick, you're lying in bed, or you always have a pain. Here or there, everywhere, somebody is always suffering with some pain, something, a headache, a foot-ache, all kind of a ache. And a little touch of oil can make a difference.
All right.
And this is why I became a doTERRA advocate, so that I can help people.
Yeah, man.
I can help people eat better, live the natural lifestyle. And by living the natural lifestyle, that is the best thing you can do. That's what the Creator created for us.
Yeah.
And I appreciate very much. And that is why everywhere we go, we encourage people to live that natural lifestyle.
Okay.
And if we just continue to encourage people, we will see a big difference.
I love that. I love that. You know, health and what you put in. You know, let your food be your medicine type of thing for real. So yes, in the center.
Oh, okay. So for me, it's really attached to what Lucille is mentioning. I was going to say metabolism because I don't know if you guys know, but 96% of humanity is having metabolic issues. So it doesn't matter. And that's so bad. I mean, it's just, where do we need to put our consciences? Like, what are we putting in our mouths? What are we eating and how are we moving? How are we using that energy we're consuming? So if we're only putting trash foods in our system, what do we expect our body to run as a Ferrari or a Maserati or a Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
We're running our bodies with flat tires, people. And we need to understand that it's because of the foods that we're eating. Here in Dominica, I gotta say, you are rich in natural medicine. You're rich in natural organic plants and roots and flowers that we produce 100% natural, right? So take advantage of that. And you can use essential oils to complement, because we're never going to replace nutrition, but because that's the base of health. So I would say just let's focus on health and wellness, starting with your emotions. So let's not forget about our emotions. That also affects us. Control your stress level, because if you don't have tools that help you to control that grief, that stress, whatever you're going through, it's tough for everybody. Let's just put that out there. It's not easy. We're not living easy times. But this is why we are here, to spread the good news and share the knowledge that we have.
All right. Lovely. Well said, indeed. And yes, yourself, Ms. Carner.
Yes, I really appreciate this this thought, the stress level, and what better thing to control the stress than in the earth. So what I would say is back to our roof, where we came from. We were created from the dust of the earth. From the dust of the earth comes everything. Our very bodies, the essence of earth, that tree has to ground itself in the earth. And
Indeed.
everything comes from the earth. So these essential oils, these essential things that we have in the plants, nature, was actually placed there, and our bodies will recognize it and accept it, because that's where we came from.
Okay.
Back to our roots. Too much wasteland all over the place. She spoke about the stray dogs, the stray animals all over the place, the stray plants, the stray grass. Everything can be utilized, and just back to nature. I mean, that's Adam and Eve. I mean, are we better than the Creator? He put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. I mean, wow.
And I would say be conscious also of our environment. We take for granted what we have. Are we recycling? When we cut off a tree, are we replanting? Just like Rosalind was saying, are we even taking care of the smallest animals? If you're not good with the little, how can our Creator trust you with
A lot,
abundance?
Indeed. And speaking of abundance, we are now 8:59. This is
Wow.
time goes by so quick. This has been an abundance of thought, food for thought as well. A lot of information was shared, but most importantly, a lot of good vibes were shared here tonight. We somehow made all of this work, and I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. So you guys, forwarding remarks to let people know who you are, where they can get your products from, what websites, and that type of thing. As we close on here, the next program is supposed to begin now. So we're just going to give a courteous extra 2-3 minutes just for the closing, and allow you guys to give your, just where people can reach you and contact you and that type of thing.
Okay, so I can be found, Oceans of Thoughts can be found on Amazon. We are also on Ingram Sparks and Barnes & Nobles. Barnes & Noble. The books there's 3 books in the series: Oceans of Thoughts Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3. Oceans of Thoughts Book 1 talks about, it's a lot of inspiration, and I'll just summarize it. in all three books. It's very healing properties, a lot of social studies, a lot of literature, history in all three books.
Okay.
I have a new website, oceansofthoughts.com. Oceansofthoughts.com. I just got a website about a week and a half ago, and it's a brilliant website full of, Dominica background. So, yes, this is it in a nutshell. Please support Oceans of Thoughts. I feel that this series should be in every household in Dominica. Every Dominican should have Oceans of Thoughts, because Oceans of Thoughts speaks to Dominicans, speaks to the world. It's Oceans of Thoughts is healing, brings back a lot of memories, a lot of good, a lot of what we did, and it speaks to you and speaks to me. So it's not a selfish series. It's a series that speaks to everyone.
Nice.
And inspires everyone. I mean, it's across the world right now. I've tried my best to promote it as far and wide as possible,
Yes.
and trying to get it in the schools here. And I believe it will be very beneficial that Oceans of Thoughts is read in the schools. We did Shakespeare, right? And we did other recommended reading. Oceans of Thoughts can be as literature,
Yes.
as social studies, as social sciences.
Okay.
Oceans of Thoughts is literate. It's an inspirational word.
All right, and that was
Yeah.
inspirational as well, this conversation here tonight.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Okay, so everybody interested on wellness and having a healthy lifestyle, they can find us at I for Isadorra, doTERRA, DOTERRA. I have a Facebook, so you just look for I do Terra on Facebook, Instagram. I do have a website, idoterra.org. But if you cannot find me on my website right now because it's under construction, you can find me on any social media as long as you just search Google I do Terra.
Awesome. All right. And yes, go ahead.
Yes, you can find me on my email, carnerjubilee@gmail.com. Send me an email and we'll get back to you.
All right. Short and sweet.
And you can find me on my email, sillflavor@gmail.com, CILLEFLAVOR @gmail.com, and my telephone number 285-4351. Any information, any question you want to ask, you just email me and we can talk.
All right. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you, lovely queens here. The time is already 9:03. I do appreciate Dominica's broadcasting station for providing this platform, and the many viewers and listeners. Be sure to tell a friend that consciousness is on the airwave. Like and share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And it's been an absolute pleasure here tonight. And do have yourself a wonderful Monday evening. We're going to leave you with another one of Nasty Or Fountain. We're going to call this one Living in the Positive. I love this song here. I think it's fitting. So have yourself a wonderful evening. And it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Living in the positive. And I know good will conquer evil. Jah is